So here we are. It's late July 2014. I'm driving along here in Michigan. I got a lot of, looks like corn and beans around me. Anyway, I'm heading down to Vicksburg, Michigan, south of Kalamazoo, and I am going to go visit my Ford 4 AT TriMotor. This was the kind of a famous airplane, actually. It was the first airplane that Island Airways bought to fly kids out to little islands out of Port Clinton, Ohio. And it was such a great airplane. It was the last one that they sold. It's got smaller engines. They're about 225 horsepower apiece. My 5AT Ford has twice that, 425, 450 horse engines. So anyway, it was very efficient, held a couple less people, I think about 3 or 4 capacity less, and but it was very efficient. So if you didn't need a lot of people to haul, then it was about half the cost in fuel. So anyway, Al Cheney purchased the airplane after it was damaged, I think, from Island Airways. It was rebuilt by Maurice Hovius, who is where the shop is right now. It was damaged somewhere. It was nosed up. Nobody got hurt, but it crunched the nose up, and Maurice had been involved in rebuilding the airplane, and Al Cheney flew it for at least 6 years out on the circuit. A lot of people got rides. He barnstormed all over the country, and eventually I was fortunate. He flew it out to California at an auction at the Museum of Flying in Santa Monica, and I got a really good deal on it. It was about half the cost of what they were selling for. We have a big fire over here. Everything is, everybody's watching. Anyway, this is, oh my God, house burning down. Added value. Always add drama to the story. So anyway, he eventually flew it out to the auction. I bought it there for about half of what they were selling it for, but he was done barnstorming. He'd flown it all the way out there, and I ended up flying it home. I think it was 25 hours of flying time. It took me 4.5 hours to fly out on the airline to LA from Miami to get it. It took me 4.5 days to fly home. So anyway, but it was a great thing. Got crunched in Hurricane Andrew in April 24th, 1992, and I ended up, hooking up with Maurice. He came down, took the whole airplane home on one trailer. The wings were twisted off. The fuselage was twisted in half. Oh my God, it was a disaster. Anyway, and there was a silver lining to it, because at some level, the airplane had some internal corrosion in spots that were non-inspectable. And anyway, whatever. What happened, what happened. The airplane's being restored. Every rivet in the airplane's going to be replaced. A lot of new skins. It's going to go back a lot more original. Anyway, so that's what's happening. Got a nice little airstrip over there, a little grass strip. That's pretty cool. I have not been here, I think, in about 2 years. There was some reason why I couldn't make it last year. Learjet fuselage. I see some Ford parts out in the back as well. I think they used to do a lot of work here on Piper Malibus or something like that, whatever those are, some kind of spam can. Cool. Here we are at Maurice's place. Gonna go see Mike West there. Hey kitty, what you doing? What you doing? What you doing? Michael, I'm GoProing. What's happening?
Same old, same old.
Same old, same old. So what's been going on since I was here last?
Ailerons are all done.
Oh, great. God, those look awesome.
Horizontal stabilizers all done, elevators done, rudders done. Max getting some paint on some of those. We
Oh
had
my
everything
God.
on the airplane.
Yeah.
It was centered up, but of course,
Really? Okay.
to get in here, we had to take the horizontal.
Right.
So that's all the lift struts with the new joint fittings and all that stuff. They've all been on and together.
Really? Great.
Ready to go.
Well, you know, and I'm trying to think, was I here 2 years ago? I don't think I was here last year.
I think you were here last year.
Really?
I think so.
Huh.
Because we had the mounts done, but no cowling work or anything yet. So all the cowling.
God, that's looking nice.
The oil tanks with the cooling tubes that are welded.
Right. Yeah, I remember those last
So you
year,
don't
taking
have the oil
pictures.
cooler.
Right.
So that's all.
Whoa.
On both sides.
Oh my God, there's so much work gone into this. So this is one of the outer wings.
Yep, the other one's over here.
Is this my stab?
Yep, that's all yours.
Okay.
And this has got all brand new spars in it.
Oh my God. Now, I guess we decided we were just going to go back with the original Island Airway paint job.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it was different when Al Cheney had it or when it was like the original
There was
paint job.
one portion of time where I think, because Island was still operating,
Right.
that he had to take the Island
Right.
logo off of it.
Okay.
But Island's not around
Yeah,
anymore.
so we'll put that back on.
Yeah.
It's just a historic thing now.
Yeah.
Right. Good. Good, man. I'm trying to think. So what exactly has been done since I was here last?
All the control surfaces.
Okay, and the rudder somewhere?
Yeah, the rudder's hanging over there.
Oh, and painted. Oh my God. Mike, I'm going to have to build a hangar. You're gaining on me. Oh, that is nice. Oh my God.
And that'll get the blue and red trim with the Ford logo.
Right.
Well, actually, the Ford logo goes on the vertical.
And that's just dust.
Yeah.
So, but you know, I'm sitting here from memory, and maybe there's some old crunch parts around, but for some reason I was thinking this was more of an off-white with a little bit of tan in it.
Well, we've got the picture that's on the cover here.
Okay. White, huh? Oh yeah. Yeah, okay. That looks pretty white.
And I kind of remember it, you know, when Cal Aero did it the first time.
Yeah.
I was riding my bicycle over to the airport then, but I remember it being a pretty bright white.
How's Maurice doing?
He's still plugging away.
Good. God, great.
Tanks are all in and plumbed.
Okay.
We still have to work on the fuel indicator level system, but that's
This is
not a big
really
deal.
looking nice. Oh my God, this is looking nice. And I guess, so this is a dummy because we've got all the engines, don't we?
No, this is one of yours.
Oh,
You've got the other two.
Oh, I've got the other two,
Maurice
okay.
brought that one back on one of his trips down there
And then,
several years ago.
and did we end up finding the heat boxes or something? Oh, we never did?
Didn't find it.
Huh.
I've got a pretty good picture. That's probably something that we could make up.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, I mean, as gorgeous as the rest of this thing is, I would think that wouldn't be a big deal. Oh my God, this is so nice.
Here we've got, because you've got all new spars,
Right.
wraparounds, we've got to drill all the attached fittings. And that's what we're getting ready to do here.
Oh, okay.
We're all in the
Okay.
right
Yeah.
position.
So I mean, really, from a structural point of view, all the internals is done on the outside wing panels, and it just really needs to be skinned.
Yeah, skins and the attach points, which of course, the leading edges are going to take a lot of work.
Right.
We're going to keep banging out what we can and
Right.
use as much of the original as we can. Those
Yeah.
are on the floor over there.
And the problem is not so much here. These can get rolled because that's got a taper to it.
Taper down
There's
and
no way. Yeah, so they're not just rolled and stuck on like this.
Right.
They're frickin' matched the. Oh my God.
And we've had so many experts come in. Oh, that's no problem.
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
they can't
right.
keep the corrugations lined up
Yeah.
with a line of flight.
Well, the reality is, I think the only way you could do that would be on a stretch press to do it right.
And we've never seen any pictures of how Ford did it.
Yeah. I think you could just do it on a stretch press. I've actually got one. I mean, whatever. We'll see. I don't know if we're gonna set it up or not, but Oh, this is awesome. And so it's all been, the jig was made off of other airplanes or just off my specific wings? Or?
Off of the reason we didn't do this very end, because we weren't positive that this center section matches exactly what our other jigs
Right.
were at the end.
Right.
We knew that we were close, but
Yeah.
just to not have to fight a little 1/4 inch here or there, we left it. We don't have any of the formers in between here, so we've got a little bit of flex there.
Right.
Get them in the right position, and then it's going to be riveted in, attached to your center section, so they're a perfect match.
Right. And so, and what are you doing out here? You're just basically leveling things and checking the dihedral and the incidents. And is there any washout in the wing at all?
This has wash out, not wash in.
Oh, really?
The originals.
Yeah. Really? That's interesting. I wonder why. Just because they didn't know any better? Or?
Probably. But, you know, there's so much lift on this big old.
Yeah. I'll be darned. Huh. Oh my God, this is kind of getting exciting, actually.
And one thing I want to look into doing is seeing if we can get 24-volt starters.
Okay.
And everything. That way we can go to a much smaller electrical cable.
Yeah.
And probably save 100 pounds of weight.
Oh, really? Okay.
Which, you know, with these being the smaller engines,
Yeah.
as much weight as we can save, the better it's going to be.
Really.
What Island had, they had big, huge bus matters in the back here. And, you know, it had that old style cable that probably weighed about 10 pounds a foot. And it ran all the way from here up to the outboard engines.
Is this okay to walk on?
Yes.
With a, oh, I see. You just put the stuff over the cardboard, over the plywood. Oh my God, these are pretty big tie rods up here. That's pretty cool. So where are those, the oil tanks?
Yeah.
Where are they?
They're right in there. That's to run.
Oh, they're already in there.
Yeah,
oh, there we go.
Yet.
Yeah, I see. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, cool. Oh my God, man, you are really narrowing down on this thing.
And they're
Comes
bigger
out there.
capacity than the originals.
Good.
That should help keep it cooler too. And these are the struts and you know the wheels.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay. And did so Greg had it in blue?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That was serial number 10.
Okay. Good. Alrighty.
It was all polished with blue trim.
Okay. And he didn't. I mean, how much time did he put on them? The brakes and all that?
Oh, I don't think they had more than 100 hours on the airplane.
Yeah.
For
Okay.
5 years.
Well, you know, I figured at least what he'd do, since he borrowed it all that time, he would have given me some new brakes or something.
Brand new tires.
I got brand new tires. Okay, that's good.
And that's pretty good value.
Yeah.
There.
Okay. Good. Good. All right. He owes me a couple of dinners too.
And of course, everything's with the 430 rivets.
Right, that was a great story. We'll go on the other side and maybe tell that story really quickly. Yeah, so basically, when I first came up here, Maurice had been working on the airplane, and you know, a lot of the fuselage skins had gone on and stuff like that. And I'm sitting there, I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at the rivets, and I'm going. I said, Maurice, I said, what kind of rivets did you use? And he said, oh, you know, AN 470s, you know, the normal universal ones. And I said, well, what did they originally use? Because I'm thinking the round heads, you know, and they're what, 456s?
Sounds right. These are the 430s, but
okay, yeah. Anyway, so then he said, no, originally they were the round heads. He said, but when the nose got crunched the first time when they rebuilt the airplane, you know, they just used the universal rivets, the 470s. So I kind of looked at them and I walked up there and ran my hand over the fuselage a little bit and basically said, well, what would it take to drill all these out and put the right rivets in? And so I made him do that.
That's when I started here.
That's when you started, huh? Yeah, so Mike basically owes his job position due to my, you know, eccentricity. And so, you know, at some point, I'm going to have to start thinking about, you know, instrument panels and that kind of stuff. So everything we want to put in there is going to be as original as we can get. So I know a lot of it wasn't.
Right.
So what I'm thinking of is, you know, give me a picture, give me a list of what the original things that we'll start looking for them, unless you've got a source.
No, and I was going to ask you,
Yeah.
you probably got a collection of a lot of vintage instruments.
Well, we'll start looking. So, you know, give me just whatever you need. Give me a list and some pictures, and we'll start looking.
And the plan is still, we put the outboard engine instruments on
Oh,
there,
absolutely.
like the original.
Yeah, original frickin' brake stick brakes.
Yep, we got all of that stuff. And then just for the nose engine will be inside.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
My 5 is this way. Yeah, it needs to be all the way it was originally. Now, this didn't have any baggage doors in it like the 5, did it?
No.
Okay.
The baggage
it's
and
inside
this are all inside.
Yeah, inside the
doors
fuselage.
that flop down, and then the baggage trays are in there. You can kind of see them.
Oh yeah,
They're up in there.
Okay. Good. Well, I'm impressed. And then so the seats are all done.
Yep.
A lot of the upholstery's been done. Not upholstery, but the paneling and stuff.
We'll have to do cushions.
Got the windows. This is going to be one of the only airliners where the passenger can actually slide the window back and put their arm out. Now, is that cool or what?
We'll want to do cushions just on the bottoms,
Right.
not on the backs, I don't think. Then you can just be thinking about interior color for that.
Okay. Now let me go look at this. They made all the wicker seats. They're freaking awesome. I think I saw them in here. Yeah. And these were all kind of made to a standard that would meet the deceleration loads for the FAA or whatever. And so what was the this holds like 11 and the 5 holds 13, or how many less seats does this have?
This will actually, in the back, will have 9.
Okay. So this has total of 11.
Yes.
Yeah, unless you get, of course, this one's going to have a toilet. So, like some of the personal jets, you can actually get them approved for a seat belt.
Oh, yeah. They did some of them, but I think mostly later in the 5s also had a seat attached to the door.
Oh yeah, we're not going to do that.
That would have been for like the
attendant. Yeah.
And then also some of them in this position. Greg serial number 10 there was a bench seat here that would actually sit 3 people, where 2 chairs would be.
Oh, that's cool. Huh. Awesome. Well, let me go do some just walk around stuff. Yeah, so mainly the the instruments, and then when we get reasonably close, we can start thinking about doing engines. But I mean, so what do you think from a time point of view is it going to take to? I mean, that's got to be a year or two. I don't know how fast that goes.
It doesn't go real fast. Part of the problem is you can skin real quick up to a certain point where the leading edge is flat.
You're right.
Because there's no crimping.
Right.
But then where it's got the flat
right.
skin leading edge, every one of those skins has to have this crimp done to it, which of course takes time. And then the big key is going to be the leading edges and getting those all fit and matching corrugations.
Right.
So initially, if you make a whole bunch of big progress with the sheets going on, then all of a sudden it slows down because all the extra work that you have to do.
Good. Well, you know, the reality is I'm in no hurry, but what I'm hoping that's going to happen is within the next couple of years, you know, I closed Fantasy of Flight. I hired some guys. I'm working on the long-term change, which is going to include a lot more hangars. They're going to be a destination, but not an airplane museum or even an aviation attraction. That the airplanes are going to be a means to an end, not an end product, which will never be successful. So I'm working on that, but I'm hoping, you know, that at some point, you know, we're going to be in a position to be doing more rides. I can start my other one first, but you know, within, I mean, if this thing is just kind of this thing probably looks like it's going to be 3 to 5 years at the rate we're going.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, it's a great job. So cool. When you say yeah, you're like, maybe, you don't know, it could be 10.
Well, I don't anticipate it.
Yeah.
You know, as long as we keep plugging along, and I've got the 2 guys pretty much on it full time, and it's just going to depend on how well the skinning and the leading edges are going to be the big challenge. Obviously, we're going to reuse as much of the originals as we can and fit and piece where we have to. Is one other change that we made too. This is going to be rudder stops.
Oh,
where
great.
the horns will actually hit that rather than get into the elevators.
Yeah, great.
Because it can happen.
Yeah, cool. Rubber shocks right there with some stops with the cables all hand spliced. Oh, so where's my vertical fin?
With the seats.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And that'll have the Ford logo on it. And it says Ford TriMotor on it.
Yeah, and we've yet to come up with the original frickin' side pieces. Is that right? The aluminum engraved Ford. I had them.
Right. And that's my understanding from Maurice is that you had them out here.
Yeah.
They never came here.
Yeah, I need to find them.
The same thing with the steering wheels.
Okay. There been any major, just major things you weren't expecting? Or I think early on, as I remember, there was some spots that got crunched in the hurricane where there was some corrosion that we didn't realize was there because you couldn't inspect it.
No, other than that, everything has been really pretty much straightforward with the airplane. Some of it we have to come up with. Island had done a weird modification for the carb heat. So we took that whole mechanism out. It wasn't original. We did it more like the originals. The controls are up on the overhead for the outboard engines.
Okay.
Push pull. And then we'll just need to, they actually come out here and down.
Okay,
and
cool.
Just, once we get the air boxes, then we can figure out the rest of those connections.
Okay.
We don't have any good drawings or very good pictures on all the details of that, but we can definitely see.
Are there no examples in other airplanes in museums, or like doesn't the Henry Ford Museum have a 4 in there?
They do, and that might actually that's a 4A. The last of the 4As, I think. There's a possibility. We've got some pictures of that airplane. We went over quite a few years ago, and they let us in.
Yeah,
and they might have it, but none of the details. You know, they wouldn't allow us to open up any panels or anything like that.
We ought to be able to figure that out through somebody knowing somebody. Anyway, cool.
But it's pretty straightforward once you get down inside the cockpit. You got to go around what's there.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just basically ducting, and as long as you get the size right, it's probably okay. Huh. Well, cool. I'm not the...
And we've replaced too, you know, Island had all Zeus fasteners everywhere, whereas the originals had these pins.
Right.
So we've gone to that everywhere.
Cool, those are great.
Oh, and the props, you should still have the props.
Okay.
Actually, what I'll do is I'll email you a list of things that you guys should have, including the exhaust.
They may not be readily apparent, but if we all know that we're looking for them, I'll make it part of the, you know, when we're digging through stuff to find them. Paul was pretty much the guy that did all that.
The ends we left here like this, it gets a big wraparound tip. Just a lot easier to fit because those 2 pieces, they split and they draw down.
Yeah. You got to make sure that they're in the right plane. Yeah, cool. Huh. Yeah, I hate to just you know, come see you once every year or so, but making great progress. And so, when did the outboard wings get up to this point, to where all the spars were?
We've actually had those done to that point for quite a while. They've just been sitting over there in the fixture while we've been working on all the mounts and the cowlings, a bunch of the engine controls, and all the other, you know, the horizontal and the control surfaces. So now, obviously, this is the part where we get back in real serious about the outer wings. Yeah, and the only thing that's really out there are aileron cables, and there's no, the fuel tanks are all in the center section. Oh yeah.
There's no baggage doors, so it's just pretty basic wing.
No, once we have the wings done, they come off and they can sit over the side, and we can do engine runs and everything with the outer wings out. Cool, because it's all contained right in that center section.
And the drag and anti-drag is just strictly the wing skin. There's no actual cross bracing.
Just in
the center section. Yeah.
Where it really doesn't even need it because of the way that thing is built. It's so overbuilt.
Well, good. Okay, so basically, you know, made a lot of progress since the last time I was here. What do you think is going to be done by the time I get back in a year?
Hopefully most of one wing will be skinned.
Good.
And ready to do leading edges.
Good. And then another wing for another year. Okay, good. All right, so we got a plan. And then if you'll give me that list of all the parts that that we still have in Florida, then I'll start having my guys think about rounding it up.
And I'll get, I got a pretty good picture of Greg's instrument panel on 10, which looks nice and original.
Okay.
And I'll scan that and email it to you.
Good. Okay. Good.
Then that way you get
Good. And we'll start rounding up instruments. All right. Well, super. Mike, awesome. Good deal. Thanks a lot. I appreciate you coming out on a Saturday.
I'll probably see you rolling around at Oshkosh.
Okay. I'll be
over the end of the week, I guess.
I'll be signing books in the warehouse, EA warehouse. Cool. Good. All righty. Well, take it easy.
Have a good trip.